All right, welcome to Let's Get Acquainted. I'm so glad to be here tonight. This is our final uh, night for National Fasting Month. Our theme for this month has been National Fasting Month, where we've been sharing from different perspectives of my guests uh, about fasting and the different things to know about fasting, different reasons why people fast. So I thank you for joining me tonight with my special guest, Maxine Phillips McKoy, otherwise known as Pearl. We're going to be talking about this topic tonight. And then on the second half, she's going to let us know who she is, what it is that excites her, and then what it is she's doing in this world to help people, because she's doing quite a bit and you don't want to miss it. And listen, share this broadcast out. As you come in, share, tag a friend, and then come on back in and let us know where you're coming in from. So I'm going to give us time to do that by playing this quick commercial. I'm going to share it out a little bit, and I know my guest is going to share it out, so I'm asking you to do the same. And I hope you've had a wonderful week. This is almost the end of February. Oh my God, can you believe it? And you know what? It's still the beginning of the year. I'll see you in just a bit. Hi, busy women leaders. I'm talking to you. Are you juggling your family, your business, your career, and your health? Afraid that if just one ball drops to the ground, everything could fall apart because everybody's looking at you. You're stressed and overwhelmed. You're looking for answers, for help that's real help, for solutions. I have Vibrant Life Solutions that can help you. I am Hillary Gooden, the Vibrant Life Coach, author, speaker, lymphologist, and pastor. I empower busy women leaders with strategies to reduce stress and anxiety while increasing energy, clarity of mind, better sleep, better health, and vitality. Oh yeah, and boost your immunity. If you're ready for that, you say, I need that in my life right now. Let's connect. You can reach me at www.hillarygooden.com. You can direct message me on Facebook or LinkedIn at Hillary Gooden. Or else, if you would like to get on a free 20-minute strategy call, a clarity call, go to bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. That's bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. I absolutely believe you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life. All right, so I got a chance to share it out, and I sure hope you did as well. And like I said, let me know who you are and where you're coming in from. When you put it in the post, then I can really see you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out my guest. I'm excited, and I know she is too. So here comes Miss Maxine, otherwise known as Pearl Phillips McKoy.
Hello, hello.
Hi. I'm so excited for us to have this conversation today, because I know you know this is a part of something that I know you got some details and specifics that you could add to this conversation. So welcome to Let's Get Acquainted.
Thank you. I feel like I'm just family. That's how I look at it.
Yes,
I'm just family, just
absolutely.
having a side, what we call a side chat. Loving this.
Absolutely. So I just want to just quickly give you a little bit about Miss McKoy here, Miss Maxine, and she is a transformational strategist, certified business coach. She's a diabetes advocate and a diabetes coach, okay, and as well as an author. She's going to tell us more about all of that on the second half of the show tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. It's still February. It's almost the end of February. Can you believe it?
I know it's so hard to believe. It's like, wait a minute. New Year's just here. Now we're almost in March. So time
I
is not waiting
know.
on any of us.
Not any of us. And this whole fasting thing is a good way to help jumpstart your health, jumpstart weight loss, jumpstart getting closer to God, jumpstart getting some answers that you really need even for this year, for your business, for your life, for your family, for your relationships. It can just help with so many ways in your life. And so that's why this was chosen. We do know now that this is Black History Month. And I was listening to, I just want to say this, I was listening to a quick, they had a clip of Dr. Martin Luther King. And he was doing this talk, and he was saying, he got to the point, he said, I'm Black and I'm beautiful. No, he
Yeah.
said, I'm Black and I'm proud of it. And I'm
Yeah.
Black and I'm beautiful. And I was like, yes. And I have
Yes.
listened to that little clip over and over and over throughout this month because it just really touched me, because that's how I feel. I'm Black and I'm proud of it. And I'm Black and I'm beautiful.
Yes. Many times, as I know, as sometimes we're taught that Black is a negative, but it's not. It's a positive. It's a part of the color scheme. And,
We could
so, right, we don't always have to associate dark being negative. We know there's a
exactly
darkness
because
of the night, darkness being evil, but, Black is beautiful. And there's so many different tones of us when we come to Black Americans or Africans and so forth. We still have different tones.
exactly. I just love it. And so whoever you are, whatever nationality are, you ought to be proud of it, you know and accept your beautifulness. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
word. You don't just make one up.
Listen, you can make any word you want up because if you make it up, then they'll put it in the dictionary.
There it is. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our conversation about fasting. And so that's where our first point here tonight is just saying, what are some reasons why people fast, just from your own, when you hear that question, what comes to mind?
Well, one comes to mind is usually at the beginning of the year. We always say we're going to go into a Daniel fast. That's one way
Explain
to
what's
start
the
the
Daniel
year off.
fast for those that don't know.
And that's a Daniel fast. That's a fast where you decide that you're going to give up something, whether it's materialistic or whether it's the internet or whether it's food, and so that you can get closer to I call it a higher power, the
Hmm.
what you believe in. I know with me being a Christian, I believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so
Yes,
when I fast, when I'm doing that, is to bring that relationship even closer. that
yes,
that I mean, I already have a relationship there, but it's just to bring it closer, it's to solidify, it's to not to ask for something, but it's to seek guidance.
yeah,
There's a difference between asking and seeking.
hmm but the Daniel fast, I'm glad you brought that up. The Daniel fast, for those of you that never heard, what the world is she talking about? For
The
the
book of
Daniel fast,
Daniel.
that's out of the Bible.
Out of the Bible, right?
Daniel chapter 10, I believe it is. They talk about the Daniel fast, and the person prayed for answer. They needed some intervention that only God could give, but they didn't get the answer until 21 days later. Right? Is that the Daniel fast?
And that's why individuals say when we're going to do a
Product,
Daniel fast, it's going to be for 21 days. Yeah.
21 days. But the whole thing was when they went, when they asked for the answer, the solution was, the answer was sent by way of an angel, but the angel was uh his plan, his way was frustrated by the enemy. And so, there was this, it took 21 days for him to break through, so to speak, in the realm of the spirit to bring that answer to the natural. And so sometimes when you pray for something, and it may be health wise, it may be for your business, it may be for your marriage, your relationships, it could be, for your business, your job, it could be for, it could be for so many different reasons that you think, man, I'm not getting the answer, it's not coming. But the thing is, it could be on its way. And that time of fasting is just to what, like you said, you can turn over your plate, and decide I'm not gonna, maybe I'll skip lunch, or maybe I'll skip eating bread if bread is a really big thing to you, because it's what it, you say I give up artichokes, but you don't eat artichokes. That's not
Give
that's
up
not
something
really
that you know that it's going to be a struggle to give it up, because a lot of times, I mean, I never remember when I first started doing the Daniel fast, I would give up sweets, and I'm
yeah,
definitely was a sweet eater. I mean, my
yeah,
Snicker bars was my weakness, and so just to
yeah,
give up sweets is one thing, but make sure I don't have any Snicker in the Snicker bars. And so when
exactly,
you're giving up, it is a sacrifice. You're
yes,
literally putting yourself in a sacrifice mode, because
yes,
that's just to test yourself, to test your strength,
exactly.
to test your endurance.
Hmm. I love that. And so yeah, people fast. I know they have, with Catholics they have the time of Lent where they fast for 40 days, and a
Right,
lot of times with that fasting, like I heard you say earlier, they'll choose things that's not necessarily food, right?
right.
Choosing to give up TV for 40 days, or uh, only spending so many hours on your on your devices, because I'm telling you, most of us spend way too much time on our devices. So it could be any of those things, that like you giving up something that's sacrificial. That's the main thing.
One of the times I remember when I'm the out of the box thinker. I think totally unique, different. And it's okay because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But I remember one year, instead of giving up something, I
Hmm.
added something. I added like more prayer time, more study time, helping more people, that were
Yeah.
in need. So it's because that fasting to me was I was taking time away from myself to give
Hmm.
to others. And
Yeah.
so is it always that you have to remove, you can't, you do remove things from yourself, but it's nothing wrong with also what can you do to help others during that time of your fasting, because you're praying and you're seeking and you're looking for guidance, you're looking for things that you can do for answers to prayers or concerns or situations,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
right there in front of you. You talked about Daniel, and whenever the
Hmm.
answer came, it came in form of an angel.
Hmm. Yes.
And it's still that way. It's still
It's
that way.
still
You
that
get the
way.
prophetic word through someone that God sent to you to give you that prophetic word.
Hmm.
And
It's
we
it's
don't
so.
we don't think of it like that, because we think of it, we are an angel at certain times when God is
Right.
sending the message.
The answer to somebody's prayer.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love that. And so we talked about fasting for answers when you're trying to seek answers. It's an excellent way, because it causes you to get focused on what's really important. That's
Yes.
what I believe.
I
And
agree
then,
with you 100%.
yes. And then we talk about fasting for spiritual reasons. Sometimes, what does that mean to you? Because fasting for spiritual reasons is different from fasting for answers,
Well, to
I
me,
think.
it's fasting for spiritual reasons, which mean like I know that I have to continue to build that relationship with the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
And that spiritual reason is to solidify that relationship that I have with the person or with that spiritual being, is to have my body, my soul, my spirit, my mind, my mental capacity. Where is it? Where am I at in that realm of life? Because life can take you and it can drag you so many different ways, and it can drag you off course. And of course, with
Mm-hmm.
everything that's happening in the world, wars and rumors of wars, right?
And we right up on this here
Right up
thing
on
for
it.
real.
The Bible's being
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled just in itself.
Yes.
And then we got the COVID, the situation. And it's not like, you got one variant to another variant to another variant. And you have, even when you step out your doors, you are praying over yourself, because you don't know what you're going to face on that other side of that door.
It's
And
so
that's the
true.
spiritual. That's the spiritual side of it. Somebody
Yeah.
say, "Oh, God is going to cover you. Just go on and do what you got to do." Well, He gave you five senses as well, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to use those five senses in a wise way. And so
Yes.
when you're doing that spiritual, you're seeking, like, and many times, the other thing that comes to my mind, I'm sorry, is the fact that you're getting ready to make a move. You're getting ready to make a decision. You're getting ready to go somewhere. And guess what? There's something that's been dropped into your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells
Mm-hmm.
you not right now. You
Right.
don't
Not
need to
right
go
now.
right now. It's not that you don't need to go. It's just that the timing is not right for you to go.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
never fails. I remember when I used to like ignore that warning and
Mm.
go on and do it. What do you think happened? You kick
Yeah.
yourself later on. Like, why did I do that? The spirit told me not to go.
Mm-hmm. Or if you didn't know,
Decided
if you
to
didn't,
go.
yeah, or if you didn't know it was the spirit, you said something. You know how many times I
Something.
hear
That's
people
right.
say, "Something
Something.
told me not to do this or not to go right now," and I did it anyway. And it helps you to become more sensitive to those unctions. You
Yes.
know, it helps you to be able to realize that I'm not in this world all by myself. I'm not taking my next breath because I'm causing it to happen. Let me be thankful. Let me be grateful. Let me spend more time, being more grateful and thankful. And the Bible also talks about, I mean, we didn't just come on to get in the biblical stuff, but it's okay because it's my show.
Hey,
Amen.
how the spirit leads you is how you're supposed to
Yeah.
go.
But
So
we the Bible also says that when you're in that fasted mode, just like you spoke to a little earlier, that like that food that you're not eating, give that to the poor,
yes.
or maybe that money that you're not spending for that coffee or the Starbucks or something, find somebody that's in need to plant a seed in their lives, you
Yes.
know, to give to. So it's important when we're fasting to do that one way or another, whether you're giving up your time, and that's what you were speaking of, or you're
Right.
giving up your money that you're not spending on something
That's
that you would
right.
have otherwise spent, you
I
know.
like that. I like that
Mm-hmm,
a whole lot because many times we don't think of that. We always think of what are we giving up? What's in it for me? What's
mm-hmm,
in it for
mm-hmm.
me? That WIIFM instead of like, how can I help another person? I'm giving up
Yes,
this, but what can I do to help you? Many
yeah,
times I talk to individuals on the telephone. If I leave them, I say, so how can I be of assistance to you?
yes, yes, absolutely. And sometimes it don't have to be something all deep.
No, no,
Sometimes we think, oh my God, how can I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money to help. I can't hardly help myself. That's why I hear that from people a lot. They say, man, sometimes it's not as much as you might think, that would be helpful. And I know I've been with this group of people that we fast every beginning of every month for 3 days.
okay,
And they say on that second day, find somebody to give to. You say, I don't
beautiful.
want to hear you saying, I don't know nobody to give to. Find somebody, make it
And
a
there's
point.
always
And,
someone out here that's in need. One of
yeah,
the things that I do, and I know we're going to talk about what I do later on, but one of the things
yes,
that I do is work with youth. And look, you can
absolutely.
mentor youth. You
Yes,
can mentor
absolutely.
someone, a young person, or
Hmm.
someone in their 20s or 30s. If you're in your upper 60s or something like that, you have all this
Hmm.
life experience, all this
Yes,
wisdom that you can share. So
absolutely.
give
That's
back
great. I
that
like
way.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. So then the next point that we have for us talking about fasting reasons why is for health reasons.
Yes.
There are a lot of people say, well, I need to lose some weight, so I'm going to fast. Okay. But I look at it fasting, when I look on a fast is not to lose weight. I could stand to lose some weight, but it's always for me about health,
Yes.
helping my body to be in position to do what it would do naturally if I gave it a chance to. And pulling away from the plate is you helping your body so it can do what it would do naturally. But
Natural.
because when you think about it, you're throwing food in, you're putting food in, you're putting food in, you're putting food in, and your body's working, 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 working. And when you take the time to fast, that gives your body a chance to take a breath
Breathe.
and then begin to repair, regenerate, restore, do some of the stuff it haven't had a chance to do because you never stop eating and putting stuff in there all the time.
And
You
even
know.
if you're going to eat, because as a diabetic, I eat every 3 hours.
Okay.
I eat every 3 hours. So I'm constantly eating. But is what you eat. and how much
Mm-hmm.
you eat. So
Yes.
even with a fast, like we have to be careful. Even as a diabetic, when you fast, you talk about for health reasons. You can
Yes.
fast, but you have to understand your body. You have to understand that you do not want your blood sugar levels to drop too low in
Yes.
a fast. And many times, what we fail to understand is that the brain needs carbohydrates, it
Mm-hmm.
needs
Mm-hmm.
sugar in order to tell the rest of the body how to function.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't give the brain what it needs, it'll start shutting down on you. And then the rest of the body will start shutting down because the brain is not communicating. It's like driving a car. If you don't put gas in the car, oil in the car, and the car shuts down, well, the radio might work, but the tires
Yeah.
are not going to work. The wheels are not going to work because you cannot drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at it like that. The body is a machine and you have to
Mm-hmm.
replenish it properly.
Mm-hmm.
That even include the water that we're drinking.
Yes. Now that's the big key right there, because we need to drink enough water. We need to drink water, and enough water, whether we're fasting or not, whether we
Yes.
got health problems or not. Even a very healthy person needs to drink water.
And
It's
many
just
times
no way around.
we don't even realize how much water we need to drink. I know at one point I was told drink 8 glasses of water a day.
Yeah.
I didn't know why I needed to drink the 8 glasses of water, right? As a kid, drink eight
Mm-hmm.
glasses of
Mm-hmm.
water. Well, the thing about it is that really for the body, you need to drink half your body weight in
Mm-hmm.
fluids, in
Mm-hmm.
liquids.
Yeah.
Water definitely can be a majority of it. I would say make that 3/4 of it, but you
Yeah.
need half your body weight, in liquids. And so once you're
Yeah.
200 pounds, I mean 100 ounces,
Ounces.
and then divide
Yeah.
it by 8 to see how
Mm-hmm.
many glasses of water you need to drink. And I know it sounds like it's a whole lot of water, but sometimes it is. But
Yeah.
if you condition yourself to have water all day long, then you're not sitting there forcing yourself to drink all these different,
Go, 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 go,
water
go.
behind. And also, what I share with individuals is that put a piece of fruit in it so to give it a flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Put a slice of
Yeah.
lemon in it so to
Yeah.
make it alkaline. Put a slice of
Yeah.
lime in it or
Yeah.
orange in it. Now I know
Yeah.
orange juice can be high in calories and high in
Yeah.
sugar, but
Sugar.
one
Mm-hmm.
slice of an actual orange is not going to damage you unless you are allergic to citrics,
Yeah.
acids or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And so I tell people too. I tell people that as well. And I like to put ginger. I've gotten to the place I just love ginger in my water.
Ginger is
It's
really
almost
good.
it's almost like I can't drink it without the ginger in it. And I'll squeeze some lemon juice, and if I have some, I'll put some mint leaves in there, and
Yes.
just really. And I'll
Cucumbers
drink
are
it like
good.
that, hot or cold. You
And
know.
warm, and actually, you really need to drink more room temperature water.
Yeah, I don't have ice in my water anymore.
Yeah.
I used
Ice
to,
is
but not
not
anymore.
totally best for the body. A lot of people say,
Yeah.
well, if you put ice in the water, you use more calories in order to burn it and so forth. Well, that is true, you do. But the body also has to do what? Warm that water up
Yeah,
in order for
exactly.
it to
It's gonna sit
process
there.
it and go entirely through the body. So there's other sides to why you want to drink room temperature water as much as possible.
Now, this is also what I tell people to gauge their water intake. To one way to see if they're drinking enough water.
Okay.
Your urine should
Yes.
be a pale yellow.
Yellow.
And
That's
how do
right.
you know that, folks? You got to look back. Some people never look back.
Don't just take care of business and then flush the toilet without looking at what does it look like. Because the other thing
Yeah.
is not only should it be a pale yellow, but you don't want it to be a pale pink,
Oh,
which
and I've never
pink would
seen that. Yeah.
indicate internal bleeding. So you have to
Yes.
be
Yes.
cognizant of your body fluids that you're releasing as well.
Exactly. And so that's one way. And when it's a dark yellow, oh my God, I need to go get me some water right now. Because what is it? Your kidneys that deal with the water, right?
That's right. Your
Go to the
kidneys is
water.
what, and the other thing is what you don't want to happen. You don't want to put all that stress on the kidneys,
That's what I was getting at.
to
Yeah.
process out and to purify what you've intaking because it's going
Hmm.
to filter out toxins and so forth. It can't do its job if you're not giving it the proper water. And also, sometimes people
Exactly.
have heartburn or indigestion and things of that nature, and it's because they don't have enough water in their body.
Yes. So you do your body a favor, And again, your body knows what to do. That's what's so amazing about all of our bodies. It doesn't matter if it's short, tall, fat, skinny, brown, yellow, white. It doesn't matter about any of that. The way God made, you know what? We're all different on the outside. We look different on the outside, but we pretty much look the same on the inside for the most part.
Yep.
And so the way your body works is the way my body works. It's the way God intended for it to work. But are we helping our bodies to work efficiently? The body knows what to do, but it can only do its best depending on how we intake food, water, or whatever we're doing, you know.
You
If
know
you're
what?
not
What
giving it enough water, it can't do its best for you.
exactly? What I just thought about. I talked about the car earlier, right?
Yeah.
We take our car in to have it serviced, and they have
Yes.
to flush, right? They have to flush
They
all these
do.
different systems. They have to flush the rotary, they have to flush the engine, they have to do the brakes and the brake fluid and all of that.
Hmm.
Fasting is an opportunity for the body to go through a flush.
That's right. That's
When
right.
we start,
Absolutely. I
we
like
look
that
at it like
analogy.
that.
I love
If
that.
we could just do that comparison, because sometimes people I'm a visual person and I'm a visual learner. So I learn things by people describing pictures to me, and I can see a
Exactly. Me
car
too.
and taking my car in to have it serviced, and my body, okay, well, water can serve as you have water in the coolant of a car in order to keep the car cool. And the same
Hmm.
thing with the body. You don't put enough water in the body can overheat.
Yeah. It's just so amazing. You got the power to help your body help you. That's what I always say.
Yes,
I
yes.
wanted to just share this, and I was just thinking when you do oil changes and those flushes, they have this set that you're gonna do every 3 months or every 30,000 miles for oil change, or
Yes.
So that's what we're saying about fasting. It's not something that you necessarily gonna do you're not gonna do it every day of your life, but there are times like now, the beginning of the year is a good time to get to do a fast, a cleanse, a reset, allow your
Mhm.
body to reset,
Yes.
because great things happen during a fast. For that, I just wanted to share this from Dr. Fong. He deals with fasting. He's like, I don't know, um, he's a medical doctor, but he deals with fasting quite a bit in his practice. And so he says here sugars should normally be low during a fast and ketones increase. This is the normal situation as ketones are produced as energy for the brain. And that's what you were saying something to that effect earlier. And I also had here, maybe you can read this one for us.
He also said that if you are taking blood sugar medications, work with your doctor to avoid low sugar, which is hypoglycemia. And that is
Yeah.
so critical. And even though he said it, with the sugar, but it's whenever you're going to make a lifestyle change and it's going to affect some type of metabolical things that's going to happen to the body, you always want to make sure that your doctor is aware of it so that they
Hmm.
can be working with you. And then don't look at it like this. I'm not going to tell my doctor because I don't want to tell me what I'm not going to do. But you want to make them aware of what you're doing in the event if you have some kind of reaction to it or something else happens and you're on different
Yeah.
medications. You need to know
Right.
how the body
Exactly.
is going to react. So you need to know your body better than your doctor. That is true. But you also
Hmm.
need to keep your doctor informed and make a note. Write it
Yes.
down on what you're experiencing when you're going through that fast, because that could be great information for your doctor. They're relying on
Exactly.
you to let them know what's going on with you.
As you were just saying that, I was thinking about, and then we're getting to the end of this conversation, this part of the show. But I was thinking about a young lady who was on a fast, and she had a doctor's appointment coming up, and she said, "Oh man, I'm almost afraid to go to the doctor because I know they're gonna say something, but I'm just gonna stick with this fast because I'm feeling better, and I got more energy." Just so much stuff, great stuff was going on that she was recognizing. But when she went to the doctor and they ran some tests, she was going in for, I guess like an annual testing or whatever.
Right.
And then the doctor came when it was time to see the doctor again. The doctor said, "So, what are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" She said, "Are you fasting?" And she said, "Why do you ask me?" Like, why do you ask me if I'm fasting? And she noticed the ketones, that she had the level of ketones in her body. And she said, well, as a matter of fact, I am fasting. And the doctor got so excited. She said, you know, me and my family, we do intermittent fasting. She said, and she started telling her all the best ways to do it, because usually a doctor is not going to talk to you
Right.
about these things. But she was so excited, and she encouraged her, you know, to continue on, and everything was looking good and whatever. But I just thought that was such a great testimony, you know, because uh, her doctor was actually doing it, and you know, it was able to say, "Listen, I could tell what you're doing." That was
And,
kind of
and
fun.
and and the thing about it is that we have to be careful when we fast as well, because you
Mm,
don't want the ketones to get so high that they start affecting the body in a negative way. And see,
yes.
because my first husband, I lost him to ketoacidosis, which means the blood sugar started dropping too low,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and so I wasn't here in order to catch that, because as a
Yeah.
diabetic, you can go into a diabetic coma,
Yes.
when the blood sugars are too low. So you have to keep everything at a balance. You have to do things in moderation. And
Yes.
that's why it's important that you'll let your doctor know what it is that you're doing, or a family member know what you're doing. So if you start acting different ways out of the
Mm-hmm.
ordinary, that they will recognize as something that's not right. So it's
Exactly.
critical that I know a lot of people don't want to tell everybody when they're on a fast. It has to
Yeah.
be a secret. So
Yeah. It has to be a secret, because sometimes people who don't fast or don't know the facts about fasting will try to tell a person they shouldn't fast, period, because it's gonna hurt you, it's gonna kill you. You're gonna, you know,
no,
sometimes they think it's just the weirdest thing to give up a meal, you know.
but
And
it's not
so
like you're giving it
and
up for
that's what you're
life.
not gonna just tell everybody, because then while you're trying to fast, they bringing you chicken wings and extra food and trying to make you smell stuff, you know,
Or
and it
you
could be
giving up sweets and then they bake a cake and bring it to you,
right,
you
you
know.
know. They know
But,
you like those Snickers. Here go a bag full of Snickers, you
I
know.
know it. I know.
Snickers.
But when you have
So anyway,
an illness or a situation and you're on medication, and you're
yeah,
on four or
that's
five
another
different
story.
types of medication, I think
You
you do need
should.
to reveal that you're on a
Yes.
fast, because not eating and taking all that medication and
Oh
having it
yeah.
in your system, that you could it could have create another situation. And so
So
it's important that you keep a balance with it.
absolutely. So I want to say here, also, myself and Maxine, we are not medical professionals. And so that's why we admonish you to check with your doctor if you're on medications and you're under a doctor's care. Always check with your doctor first.
Always.
And
Yes.
you know, and that's what we have to say about that. We're giving out information, giving out facts about this is what it is, this is how it can help you, but be smart and always check with your doctor first.
And the
We
other
want
and
to,
the other thing that we're doing, Hillary, is that we're sharing with you what has worked for us as well.
yes,
So we've
yes,
gone through some of this. I am a type 2 diabetic and have been since 2008. And because of the lifestyle changes that I've made, all of the research that I've done, all the modifications and the things that I put in place, that I was able to reverse my type 2 diabetes. And I've been able to keep it somewhere. Now, I don't keep it at a 5.4 or anything like that, but I keep it between the 6.4 and the 6.6. Now, mind
okay,
you, for those who know what an A1C is, which is your average glucose reading over 2 to 3 month
mm-hmm,
period, mine
mm-hmm,
ranged at a 16.0 when I was first diagnosed.
mm.
Which I could have been in a
Yeah,
diabetic
yeah,
coma. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. So when you fast, what is one of the things that you how do you manage, and maybe I should ask you too, do you fast past 12 hours? You know, do you fast more
No,
than a day?
no, I do not. I fast during the day because I know what my body can and cannot do. I know that it's
Okay.
going to drop too low if I try to go all day without eating and just drink water. I already know I'm going to be in a medical situation. And so when
Mm,
I talk about eating those every 3 hours, my fasting is to remove like maybe meat or some or sugar, When I talk
Mm-hmm.
about sugar, I'm talking about, the crackers, the flour. I mean, things like that we know will
Convert.
convert into sugar, because the starch is
Yeah.
going to convert into a sugar. So
Yes.
that's how I fast. And then many times I'll start out with a smoothie. I
Mm-hmm.
do my
Yeah.
fruit smoothie, my vegetable smoothie, and it's all natural fruit. It's not
Yeah.
fruit that's with added sugar.
Right.
Body
Exactly.
can handle
Exactly.
natural, fruits and things like that. Again, the brain does need some sugar in order to
Yes.
function. And that's why some
That's
people,
right.
when they go on a fast, they're like this, trying to figure out, why am I so tired? Why am I so groggy and things like that? And that's
Mm.
because the brain does not have any sugar to start
Yeah.
telling the rest of the body what to do. But that's how I fast. I just
Yeah.
fast each day. And one day, one morning, I might have the smoothie, and then I might have a light breakfast. The light breakfast is only going to be maybe a protein and a piece
Mm-hmm.
of fruit. And then the next day, I might, will fast and then have a smoothie in the afternoon and not in the morning. So I change it up like that. But the most
Yeah.
important thing that I do is I put the time in. You have the
Yes.
time in to
Yes.
study, to pray,
Yes.
to seek, in
Yeah.
order to steal away,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes. So that's the other thing that I've been saying this year. You have to find a way to win.
hmm
So there's a way to make it work for you. Even if you talk to your doctor, a lot of times the doctor will work with you how you can do it best, for whatever is going on in your body,
right.
So find a way to win, it's a great thing to do. This being the beginning of the year, especially, is why I brought this forth as the theme for this month, because I know the studies show that people who made their resolutions started January 1st, by February, that's all kicked to the curb and it's done. They were, they pulled away, and you still want to do something. Fasting is something that you can try. And so, you can check back over the videos that from this month, where we've had different conversations talking about the same thing from different people's perspectives. So, Miss Maxine, I thank you so much for adding to this, especially from the perspectives of those that are dealing with type 2 diabetes, because it is something that needs to be worked with your doctor before you
Yeah,
do it, as you do it, to make sure you're okie dokie. So,
exactly. And you can make a fasting a part of your lifestyle change.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because you just told us that you can fast 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. It's
Mhm.
up to you on how it works with your body.
Yeah, and the point I was trying to, I remember I was trying to make a point on your point, and that was when you were talking about the car, the analogy of the car, and how when we do an oil change, they tell us you should do it every 3 months or every 30,000 miles.
Right.
And sometimes you might want to fast once a quarter,
Yes.
maybe twice a year, or something where it's a specific time that you're going to fast in order to
Yes.
reset your mind, reset your body, reset your spirit. Use all of that time to get closer to God, closer to yourself. Because sometimes as women, we give away so much of ourselves until we don't have anything left for ourselves. And we need to reset and focus inward and
You
be
know what?
okay with that.
I was just sitting here thinking that when I was a little girl, now kids, you're not gonna try to get a kid to fast. They're 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, right?
Well, I know some that
So
have, but
my
go ahead.
parents, my mother, she always made sure that we had a good cleanse of the
Okay, yeah,
body at least twice a year. And
yes.
castor oil was one of those things she would give
I've
us.
heard about those.
So that was her way of ensuring that we had a great, our pipes were cleansed very
Yeah,
well, at least
yeah,
twice a year. And
yeah.
so it's like, so there's different ways that you can fast. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't us giving up anything, but that was her way of making sure that she kept our system flushed out, refreshed, renewed, replenished.
Yes. So again, folks, you got the power to help your body help you have better health and live a more vibrant life. That's what this is all about. And so we're going to shift mode so that we can hear from Miss Maxine what it is that she's doing, whatever it is she wants to tell us about herself. This is Let's Get Acquainted. I heard some things the last time that said, oh, I didn't know that. That's what I like about this show. So she's going to share with us about herself and then about the great things that she's doing in this world to help others. And so I'm going to give you the time and the floor to go ahead and share with us. Is that all right?
That's fine. That's fine.
All
Well, first of
right.
all, Hillary, thank you so much for this opportunity to be on this show. I always love coming on and talking to you.
Thank you.
And you're coming on my show in March. So we have
Yes,
Women's
yes,
Month coming up in March. So stay tuned for the Life Strategy Show. That's one thing that I do. And Hillary will be one of my guests coming in March. So she can share with us the lymphatic system. I'm always
yes.
intrigued about it because that's a system that we all need to make sure that we keep it flushed and in good condition. Well, I am
Amen.
a type 2 diabetic coach, and I definitely preach diabetes because I lost my husband to it, my mother, my sister, and I had a baby sister who died with a stroke to the center of her brain. And I was diagnosed in 2008 being a type 2 diabetic. But I've been able to manage it through lifestyle changes and keep it under control. So that's one of the reasons why I do the coaching and worked with the American Diabetes Association for almost 8 years and had a team. But one of the other things
Mhm.
that I do is I do life coaching and career coaching. And what that looks like is I start with our youth. At the age of 14 is when I'm able to do what is called an ability assessment. And that ability assessment helps these youth to understand their God given abilities. You can call them innate abilities, you can call them natural abilities, but these are abilities that we all were born with. And how awesome is it to be able to help someone who's 14 up to 21, 22 identify or discover these things about themselves that no one else had discovered? They didn't
Yes,
even know they had this ability. And guess what? We take that information and we help them to navigate that into and create a strategy that's their life plan, their roadmap, their blueprint that they can use for middle school to select their electives and in high school do the same. And then it takes them through college. And in college, they'll be able to select the degree plan. Okay, now that's the educational side. But what about those who are not going to go to the educational side and go to college, academia? Well, that's where we help them to identify what trade. What is that going to look like? Is it heating and air conditioning? Is it mechanic? Is it engineering? Is it science? What is it that they have been born to brought on this earth that they have been given an ability to do that no one had to teach it to them? It's so exciting when a kid goes through this assessment and they're like, wait a minute, I didn't know I could do this, or I didn't even think about this particular career. And they have an opportunity to start exploring that career. We take them through not only the assessment, but we also have workshops, presentation skills. We do a workshop that calls study skill, note taking, test taking, how to present yourself, how to write an essay for your college, for your school, or even for your college application. And then after they decide what career, and we look at it, matches it up though, it has to complement what they're already gifted at doing. That's when we start exploring on the path that where they start talking to individuals who are already in that profession, and they get a chance to hone in on, is this the right career path for me? And if it's not, they know at the earliest time possible that no, I'm not going to jump through these hurdles to do this, or I love what this guy is doing or what this lady is doing, and I want to be just like that. This is where I want to use my natural abilities. And the other thing that comes from this assessment, the parents. Oh my gracious, the parents, you have an opportunity to understand the learning communication of your child. Are they a visual learner? Do they like to read? Do they like to do hands on? Or, Matthew was sitting in the floor, you gave him a car, he had tore it up, and you thought, oh my gracious, you just tore that car up. You just ruined that car, and I just purchased it, only to find out you leave the room and come back, he has put the car back together because he's naturally gifted at wanting to see how things tinker underneath that car. Or he might have, whatever it is that you have shared with him or purchased for him. Try Legos, give them the Legos and see what they build without even looking at a picture because it's already in their mind. And then what about our kids who are already mathematically gifted? That they can rattle numbers out to you, that they're just so gifted when it comes to science and be a financial planner later in life. These are the type of things that you're able to observe your children at the earliest age possible when they go through this assessment. So that's what this assessment is all about. It's called an ability assessment. And Hillary, it never fails. When I take my high school students through this assessment and I am giving feedback, the parents says to me, "Where were you when I was in high school? Where were you when I was in college? I wouldn't have changed my major 2 or 3 times. I would not have majored in this. I would have tried this, this, and this because this is what I really have a passion for." So when I do this assessment with these young people and that light bulb goes on, and then you see their eyes dancing, that big smile comes across their face. It's like, yes, 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 yes. And that's why I do the career coaching with our youth, high school going into college. I think you're on mute.
Yes, I was just thinking as you were talking about my brother and I, it was just the two of us. And when it came to reading, he reading was just not his jam. He didn't care much for reading. But I could read something and he'll listen and he'll remember it and he can recite stuff back because he don't like to read. And now when it came to numbers, I wasn't that keen on numbers. I became an accountant, but he became an electrician. What he
Mm,
does with numbers and what I had to do with numbers are totally different things.
totally two different things.
Totally different
Yes.
things. And so, his mind was just wired different than mine. When it came to certain things, it didn't do nothing for him. But he gets to talking about what he does. It's just like, and he came into that after school. He really came into his own understanding what it is he enjoys the most, and that has been his life's work, and he loves it and he's great at it. So that's good. You helping them to uh, find out what their ability, where their innate, like you said, their innate ability lies. That's
Yes.
amazing.
And I love it because I always put it into 3 words. We're going to help them to discover it, identify it, or confirm. And
Oh,
see,
confirm it.
or confirm it, and your brother, he had to end up probably discovering or identifying it, like you said, after he was out of school later in life.
Mhm.
And many times that's me. I did the same thing. I was later in life when I discovered. However, I've always been the child who people would gravitate towards, and I would sit and listen to them, and I would ask them questions, and before long, they would have their own answers, and they would leave.
Right.
I
That's
didn't know
me
it was
too.
called coaching at that time until later on in life. I found out, well, I've been coaching ever since I was about 11 or 12.
That's me too. And I have had people say, "Man, I'm telling you things I've never told anybody. Oh my God, let me get away from you."
I hear that all the time. I'm like, is the word.
Yeah,
It's pure
yeah, so
confidentiality. Yeah.
yeah, because sometimes school is designed for everybody to get the same thing, but everybody's mind don't work the same. And I was remembering how, I don't know if this is a part of what you do as well. Person they were talking about the parents helping their children, learning their children and how they learn. And I think you said something to that effect. And
I
it's
do. I have a
child that
workshop. I have a workshop. I definitely have a workshop, and it's all about the learning communication styles. And
yeah.
it's for the parent and the child takes the workshop together. They
Hmm.
absolutely come together. So they can't just send the child and say, Maxine, you're gonna do the
Okay.
workshop. No, the parent must be in there because the parent, what I talk about is the different communication styles. And they have an opportunity to start observing their children. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then the other question, the other thing that come out is that how many of you parents, and listen, I'm asking you, you all going to be listening to this. I'm going to ask the question again. How many of you parents teach your children or helping your child study, and you've told them and told them and told them and retold them, and you're saying to yourself, why are you not getting this? I just told you this
Yeah. Oh my
10
God.
times. And that's because the parent is teaching the child the way the parent learns. not how the child learns. And so in the
Yeah.
workshop, I help the parents to understand that you take your learning style, put it aside, and
Yeah.
now let's observe how the child actually learns. And then you
That's
help them with the
amazing.
homework based on the way they learn. And I tell you, the relationships totally changes.
Yeah, because everybody is less stressed.
Yes. The
That's where I
frustration
come
is
in.
gone.
That's where I come in. When you get so stressed and overwhelmed, you need to see me.
Yes.
Well,
Have to
let's
breathe.
yeah, so let's reduce that stress. Let's bounce a little bit and then go back and figure this out.
Yeah.
It's just something. It was something you were saying, and I was just getting ready to. Oh man. Uh, well, you keep
The
talking. The
other
thought of
thing, the other thing that happens with the communication styles is that once a child under the assessment brings this out as well, and once the child understand the way they prefer to communicate. Now, when they were in class, and you could very well be going back to much of that, they were able to have a conversation. A parent and child was able to have a conversation with the teacher of that child, and they were
Mm-hmm.
able to share with the teacher how the child their preferred communication style. Because see,
Yeah,
there are certain things about a child who's a rhythm learner, and a rhythm learner needs to be up and about. They
that's what I
cannot
was
be
going to talk about.
confined
Yeah.
to a chair. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot be confined to a chair. You're gonna have, and
Mm,
they cannot be confined to the front of the room either. And you're going to you will be looking at them as though they're very disruptive or
yeah.
distracting everybody else in the classroom. So you have to know where to position that child in the classroom. And now that we're
Mm,
at home learning,
yeah.
it's a totally different ball game. So parents, it's very critical that you understand how that child takes in new information and process it. And that's what this assessment would do. And that's what the workshop that I do will also help the parent and the child.
So I wanted to ask you how, since do you go in schools? Are you connected to schools? Do they refer parents
I
to
would love to
you?
be connected to schools, but many times there's a lot of red tape, as you know, when it comes
Okay.
to going into the school system. So what I prefer to have a parent sessions, whereas they come on Zoom, now that everything is virtual, and
But
we have
how do you excuse me.
workshops.
So then
I can
how do
mhm.
you go about uh getting your parents then?
Word of mouth,
Okay.
basically word of mouth. I work
Okay.
with several churches in the Raleigh-Durham area that I
Okay, that's a
deliver
good
these
thing.
workshops to. And
Okay.
those parents come from different other areas, so they can go out and spread the word in the community with other parents that they come in contact with at other schools, and
Okay.
or so even within the same school. And I mean, I put together online workshops, and then it would be open enrollment, and the parent. But I like to keep it, sort of like age wise, if I possibly can, because I
Yes,
don't want
yes.
a 8-year-old in there with a 16-year-old. So if
Exactly.
I can keep it like elementary together, then middle school together, then high school together, it would be better that way, because
Yeah.
as I start using examples, I use the appropriate example for that age group.
Okay. So
But
do your
I'm willing to do, I'm sorry, but I'm willing to do customize, or a particular school who wants me to have something with a parent session, the
yeah.
PTA, I can do it that way. So
Okay.
there's
Okay.
so
That's what
many
I was
different
wondering.
ways, yeah, that I can bring it
So
forward.
so when you, I'm sorry. So when you work with people, you have work. I hear you saying workshops, but do you do like any trainings that are like over a 30-day period or extended time where you meet with them more than just that one time in a workshop?
Yes. So what I do when it comes to the assessment, and the child has taken the assessment is a portion of what we call college and career preparation program. And that
Okay.
program it starts with the base is the assessment. And after we take the assessment, then that's where we can hone in on what career path, what are their natural abilities, and what are the challenges. See, because when I was a
Yeah.
child in school, I had a challenge with taking math tests,
Hmm.
because I'm used to memorizing everything, right? Well, math tests, you cannot memorize everything. Only thing you memorize is the formula. If
Right.
you don't
Exactly.
understand the formula, you're not going to be able to work those problems or solve those problems. And many times, how many times people tell you that when you're taking a math test? They just say, take the test, right?
Wow. Well, yeah, I can relate there because when I got to high school, when I had classes like trigonometry and oh, what is it, calculus and
Right.
let me
Calculus,
shut it and think about it
algebra.
right.
Yep, algebra. And so what I do is I have a workshop called test taking. And in the test taking
Yeah,
workshop, we teach them how we empower them to how to
yeah,
take different types of tests.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
I
we
like
also
that.
have a workshop called note taking. How many people know really how to take notes?
Yeah,
But the
yeah, that's
notes are
something I'm pretty
based
good
on
at.
how you learn, not just based on
Yeah,
taking a note.
exactly. You know, and I'm listening to everything that you're saying, and these are things that will these skills, these patterns that they learn about themselves will go on into their adult lives, into their jobs and their businesses or whatever it is they find themselves doing. Because I found some of the same things that you're saying is what I had to deal with as a leader in on the job. You know, being the manager, being the director, even over more people, and realizing, okay, I can't talk to them all exactly the same because they don't process things the same. It took me a while to get that down pat, to understand that this one is learning on one way, it's pretty quick, and the other one it process stuff different, so it take them a little longer, but they get to it. And so this is what you're saying. You can't just give them a blanket instruction and think all of them are gonna get it. It's not because they're slow necessarily, or they're that they don't understand, but it takes some a little longer because of the way they process things.
That's right. It's all about the how you process new information, how you take it in and you process it. Now,
Yeah.
I've been honing in on the student, right? And
Yes.
that's those high school going into college. Well,
Yes.
you have to graduate from college eventually, and now you're an adult. So we have
That's
an
right.
adult assessment too that helps them to understand what direction I need to be taking with my career. And
Yeah.
then guess what? You just talked about a leader because there's a
Mm-hmm.
leadership assessment. Because Hillary,
Okay.
you hit it on the head that as a leader, you need to understand every single person on your team and how they process information and take it in. You
That's
cannot
right.
you can treat John and Jennifer over here the same. They are totally two
Yeah.
different individuals.
Yeah. And that was the same as being the line staff, understanding the management over me. But you know,
Yeah,
as I rose up, okay, this manager, she processed things slow. So she talks to me like I process things slow. I process things pretty quick. So it's like, okay, she talking, and I can get, you know, you have people getting offended because you feel like you're talking to me like a kid,
yeah,
but
we're
it's
being
because,
triggered, right?
and then the other one, he processed stuff so fast, you know, but I could keep up with him, you know, it's just like, oh my God. And so when I began to become that leader, that's when I realized I know you can't treat everybody the same because of how the management over me, you know, I noticed the difference in their styles. And so, yeah, you have to be aware. You become aware. What you're doing is helping people to become aware at a young age, become
Is who
aware
they
of
are,
themselves.
is
Yes,
who they are from their core.
yes,
And if we
I
understand who
love
we
that.
are from our core, we're able to articulate how best to communicate with us. And many
Yes,
times, husband and wives don't communicate, or you have coworkers who are not communicating because they think they have a personality conflict. It's not a
yeah,
personality conflict, it's just because you don't understand how they prefer to be communicated.
yes. Oh my God, you know that takes me back. You know, because that was a lot of my learning as a I was a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, in a behavioral health center, but a lot of my learning had to do with learning my staff, you know, and getting them to understand how I process things, so that we can understand what the problem is here, because we don't
That's
have the right
right.
answer. We don't.
That's right.
This report is not making sense, and then you find out they were understanding according to a misunderstanding. And so you have
Exactly.
to get to it and say, oh, how did you get to that answer? Well, let me show you how I get to it. And then, you know, I just love it. That's what you're doing, but you're
That's
doing
what
it at
I
a young
do.
age. I
Yeah,
love that.
I start out at 14, but the age does not end because guess what? You get a pre-retirement and then retirement. Well, even after you
Hmm.
retire, you still need to know what you're going to be doing. Life
Yeah,
still goes on. Career is a
that's right.
lifetime.
That's right.
Career is a lifetime.
I love it. I love it. So you gave me a link on how people can get connected to you, because if this is not you saying, "But I don't think this is something I need," you may know somebody who has a child or children that need this type of assessment or this type of help. And so it doesn't matter where you live because she can work with you online. Is that right?
That's right. That is so right.
Okay. And so here is her website you can go to or
That's the
share this
Facebook.
link.
That's the Facebook right
Oh,
there.
this
And
is
the
your
website,
Facebook.
yeah, that's the website. The website is levellessco.com, and you'll find the assessments out there. And we're getting
Okay.
ready to post the student assessment landing page so that you'll be able to read about it. And the whole thing
Okay.
of it is reach out to me. Let's set up a
Yes.
time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there on Facebook, connect with me, and let me just give you a 20-minute complimentary, strategy session to talk about you or to talk
Yes.
about your child.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And so this is all so necessary and needed. And sometimes it's such a missing link, a missing piece of a lot
Yeah,
of people's puzzles. And it would just help if you understood your learning style or if you were able to communicate that, you know,
yeah.
with those around you so that they could understand you. When you don't understand yourself, it just leads to frustrations in life in so
Well,
many ways.
if you notice, I said to you, I'm a visual learner.
Me too.
But had I not said that to you, then you could be talking to me a lot of different ways, and it's like going totally over my head. But when I said a visual learner, then you start describing things.
Yeah, I'm
You didn't
like
even
that too.
realize it because you just started describing things, and that's what a visual learner needs. You need to describe things in as you're talking to them, and teachers when they're in
Hmm.
the front of the room talking to that kid, and that kid is a visual learner, and you're not describing it's red, it's blue, it's about 6 feet tall. They
Yeah,
need to be able to see it and feel it and experience it. Those who are
yeah.
auditory, they're going to hear it. I love what you said about your brother. He heard it
Hmm.
and he
Oh, he
memorized it. He
because
knows
he
it. If
know he
you
don't like to read.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah,
you ask him later, he can tell it back to you like just like that. I'm
yeah.
like,
And then but you
wow,
got the
okay.
kinesthetic learners who are doers, who want to touch
Yeah,
it, feel it, interact with it. So
yeah.
when you deny a child to be able to do that, it's like, well, they're not going to learn because you're telling it to them, they're not going to learn. They're reading it, they're not going to learn. But once you
Hmm.
have given them an opportunity to engage with it, they
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
yes. I'm just so excited that you are on again, and I know there'll be another time for you to come back on Let's Get Acquainted because there's so much. I learned a little bit more about what you do, today, and so that's just really great. And I hope those of you that are listening share this broadcast out so that people can hear it for themselves. What she has had to say about what it is that she does and how helpful it is, not only at a young age, not only in middle schoolers and high schoolers, but even adults, retirees. You know, it's never too late to learn about
That's
you
right.
know, because again, you got the power to help your body help you, help your mind help you. But you got to know, what it said, to know yourself
Know
is a
thyself.
beautiful thing. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing when you are aware of how you think and how you process stuff. It it lends to less stress,
And better
less
communication
frustration.
and open
Yeah.
communication, because parents, let me tell you, these teenagers, they really do want to talk to you. But if you're not talking the way that they understand, or a lot of times we think we understand how our children understand, but we really
Hmm.
don't. I know I didn't
Yeah.
until I have
Yeah.
gone through all of this training and all of this research and understanding it. There's many things that I overlooked with my children. They were very talented at a young age, and I didn't recognize it because what?
Yeah.
I was so busy working. I was so busy trying to make money, trying to make ends
Yeah.
meet, that I was not paying
Exactly.
attention to them.
Yes. So I love it, love it, love it. You can connect with Maxine. This is Maxine Phillips McKoy, otherwise known as Pearl.
The
But
Pearl
yeah, the Pearl. You can reach her here on Facebook at Levelless
Co.
CO.
Mm-hmm.
Levelless Co. And she has all the information that you will need. And I'm sure some other ways that you can connect with her once you get there, so that she can get back to you, or her team can get back to you, so that you can have that further, deeper conversation. So again, thank you so much for coming on. And just as your last pearl, that you would like to leave with the people that are listening to this broadcast and that will hear it, because it's going to be out there. It's going to be out there for a while.
That's
What would
right.
you
That's
like to say?
I would say see where it is that you're going. Know that you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to get there, and believe in yourself.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. This has been my pleasure, absolutely. And my show is open to you anytime. You might be doing something that's just something really a nice twist on it, or something big. I would love to have you to come back on. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Well,
much.
thank you so much for this opportunity. And parents, hey, reach out to me. Let's
Yes.
make life a lot easier for you and the young people who are at home having to do all of this schoolwork, so that you can understand each other and the learning styles. I'm here.
Yes.
I'm available.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have my final word, and I just want to tell everybody about the where is it at? Uh, about my complimentary 4-part training that's been taking place. You don't mind sitting here for a minute, do
Not
you?
at all. Let me hear it. Let me
Okay.
hear it. Yeah.
Okay. So it should be start running across the bottom there. But I
Put
have
it
been
back
doing
up.
a
Put it
four
back
part
up. Hmm.
okay, a 4-part training in my Facebook group. And the Facebook group is called Transform Your Health and Peace. And that's part of what that's part of what I've been hearing Miss Maxine say as well. But transform your health and peace with this fasting. So it's a 4-part training for February's reset. That's what we were talking about in the first part of the show with the fasting. This being National Fasting Month. So February 28th will be our final training this coming Monday, and it's at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, and it's only inside the Facebook group. So you can join the group, and it's just 3 questions to answer, and they're simple questions, but you must answer those questions to gain access into the group. And so that you can be there for that final training, as well as watch the replays of the first 3 trainings, which were more in depth information about fasting and how you can make it work for you. Like I said earlier, you have to find a way to win when you're trying to reset. And this is a perfect time to reset in the beginning of the year. And you might need to reset maybe in June or by December or something like that. This is giving you some tools, some strategies that you can use that can help you win when you decide to make those resets. So again, it's a 4-part complimentary training. Our 4th and final training will be this coming Monday, the 28th, February 28th, for February's reset, fasting for your health, inside the Facebook group, Transform Your Health and Peace. And I just want to say, I am your Vibrant Life coach, certified lymphology expert, and I empower busy women leaders with strategies to transform their health and transform their life. Hallelujah. I'm about to preach now. Their their emotional and physical health by using stress management tools, as well as uh, teaching them how to activate and maintain a healthy lymphatic system in order to have more energy, clarity of mind, boosted immunity and vitality, as well as better sleep and better health. So if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, and you said I need to do something, but I don't know what to do, listen, I have Vibrant Life solutions for you. So you can reach out to me as well, so that we can get together on a talk and find out what it is you need, so that you can win in your life. And that I'm going to give you the link for that right quick, and then I'm going to close this on out for tonight. Hmm. Uh, here we go. Here you go. For a free 20-minute clarity call, You can reach me at bit.ly/speak with Hillary. bit.ly/speak with Hillary. And I'll be glad to get on that call and find out what it is you need. You know, like my grandma used to say, what ail you, child? I'm sure I got Vibralife solutions that can help you so that you can win. It's all about winning right now in your health. So thank you so much. And just know that I'm here for you when you get stressed out. Miss Maxine is here for you so you can help your child and their learning ability, learning about their how they learn, how they can best be helped in their learning processes. Make sure that you contact her as well, and we'll be glad to help you in the ways that we have been fixed, we have been trained, we have the way we've experienced in our life, how God has made us and fixed us to be a help to you. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again, Maxine. God bless you.